Welcome to a new Greek mythology video. Don't forget to subscribe.
Dionysus, the god of wine, chaos, and transformation.
Dionysus is far more than just the god of wine. He is a force of nature, a symbol of liberation, ecstasy, and divine madness. His story is unlike that of any other Greek god, filled with dualities, chaos, and moments of transcendence. He is both the bringer of joy and the herald of destruction, the god of celebration and the instigator of divine frenzy. His influence stretches from the ancient Greek theater to modern-day festivals, rock concerts, and even psychology. In this video, we're diving deep into the myth, worship, and cultural legacy of Dionysus, the god who reminds us that within chaos, there is truth. Twice born, the miraculous birth of Dionysus. The story of Dionysus begins with a forbidden love, a union between Zeus, the king of the gods, and Semele, a mortal princess of Thebes. Zeus adored her, but their love affair was doomed from the start. His wife, Hera, consumed by jealousy, hatched a cunning plan to destroy Semele before her child could be born. Disguised as an old woman, Hera whispered doubts into Semele's heart. "How do you know that your lover is truly Zeus?" she asked. "Demand that he show himself in his full divine form." Fueled by Hera's manipulation, Semele pleaded with Zeus to reveal himself in all his glory. Bound by his unbreakable oath, he did so, unleashing the full force of his lightning and divine radiance. The sight was too much for a mortal to bear. Semele perished instantly, consumed by celestial fire. But inside her womb, the unborn Dionysus still lived. Acting quickly, Zeus saved his son by sewing him into his thigh, carrying him until he was ready to be born once more. This miraculous event earned Dionysus the title "twice born," a concept that would define his very essence, a god of transformation, death, and rebirth. The wandering god, spreading the gift of wine. Zeus knew that Hera's wrath would not subside, so he entrusted the infant Dionysus to the nymphs of Mount Nysa, a secret and mystical place beyond the reach of the Olympian queen. Here, Dionysus grew up surrounded by wild nature, satyrs, and spirits of the forest. He discovered the secret of viticulture, the cultivation of the vine and the making of wine, a divine gift that he would later bestow upon humanity. As he matured, Dionysus did not remain confined to Mount Nysa. Unlike most Olympians, he was a god who walked among mortals. He wandered across the lands of Greece, Asia, and beyond, teaching people the art of winemaking. But Dionysus was not just a bringer of pleasure. He was also a force of disruption, challenging the established order wherever he went. Some welcomed him with open arms, eager to embrace the intoxication and enlightenment he offered. Others resisted, and they paid the price. The wrath of Dionysus, the fall of Pentheus. One of the most famous myths of Dionysus is his confrontation with Pentheus, the rigid and skeptical king of Thebes. Pentheus refused to acknowledge Dionysus as a true god and forbade the ecstatic rituals that were sweeping through his kingdom. He mocked the worshippers, especially the Maenads, the wild, frenzied women who abandoned their homes to follow the god. Dionysus, ever cunning, decided to teach Pentheus a lesson. Using his divine charm, he lured the king into disguising himself as a woman to spy on the secret Batsic rituals. But once Pentheus was deep in the mountains, surrounded by the Maenads, he lost all sense of self. The women, in their divine frenzy, mistook him for a wild animal. In their ecstatic state, they ripped him apart limb by limb, led by none other than his own mother, Agave. This myth is a chilling reminder of Dionysus's dual nature. He offers freedom and bliss, but he also punishes those who deny the wild, untamed aspects of life. Dionysian worship, madness, and ecstasy. Dionysus's followers did not worship him in temples with solemn prayers. His rituals, known as the Dionysian mysteries, were wild, ecstatic, and often terrifying. His devotees, especially the Maenads, would drink wine, dance frantically, and lose themselves in a state of divine madness. In some accounts, they would tear apart animals with their bare hands in a ritual known as sparagmos, symbolizing death, rebirth, and the breaking of human constraints. For the ancient Greeks, Dionysian worship was a gateway to transcendence, an experience that shattered the illusion of order and revealed the primal forces of the universe. His cult was associated with fertility, chaos, freedom, and the breakdown of societal norms, concepts that still resonate in today's world. Dionysus and the birth of theater. Dionysus was not only the god of wine and ecstasy, he was also the patron of the theater. The annual festival of the Dionysia in Athens gave birth to the greatest plays of ancient Greece. Writers like Sophocles, Euripides, and Aeschylus created tragedies and comedies that explored the themes of fate, passion, and human folly, all aspects of Dionysus's domain. Why was theater sacred to him? Because, like his rituals, it was about transformation. In the same way that his followers would lose themselves in a divine frenzy, actors on stage would lose themselves in their roles, becoming something greater than themselves. The theater was a way for mortals to touch the divine, to experience joy, sorrow, and revelation in a controlled, artistic form. Dionysus in modern culture, the eternal rebel. Dionysus never faded from human consciousness. His spirit lives on in rock concerts, raves, carnival, and even in psychological theory. The philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche famously contrasted the Apollonian, order, logic, reason, with the Dionysian, chaos, passion, instinct. For Nietzsche, Western society had become too Apollonian, too obsessed with control and rationality. He believed that humans needed to embrace their Dionysian side to achieve true creativity and freedom. This concept echoes through modern culture. Every music festival, every wild dance floor, every act of creative rebellion, Dionysus is there, whispering in the ears of those who seek something beyond the ordinary. Dionysus, the god who never dies. Dionysus is a god of paradoxes. He is both joy and destruction, ecstasy and madness, wine and blood. He breaks down boundaries between mortals and gods, between sanity and insanity, between civilization and the wild. His myth reminds us that life is meant to be lived fully, passionately, and sometimes recklessly. He challenges us to embrace the chaos, to celebrate the unknown, and to find transcendence in both the pleasure and the pain of existence. So the question is, will you follow Dionysus into the dance,